Oh, hello there, chat. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of Anomalous Broadcasts from Site 42. Leah, good to see you in the chat, as well as you, Sundu. Noel, Coco Cookie, and Zachary, silent follower, Der Kaiser. All of you, thank you for being members and welcome to the chat. Alex, thank you for being a member. Hey, sorry about yesterday. I'm glad to hear it. Now, I hope you don't take your punishment too seriously. I just had to make an example of not allowing such horrid, awful behavior as yours. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I understand that we do negative things here at the Foundation all the time. I hope you don't take it too hard. We're all doing our best. I understand. Let me make this a little more apparent in the background for the good vibes. Desk, good to see you in the chat. Ready for action. Sally and Ansen, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being members. Thomas, good to see you in the chat for no other reason than you're here. Charlie, yes, you finally made it in time. You are exactly on time for the start of what will be an approximately 2-hour stream. We have about time for 2 hours of hanging out, talking shop about the SCP Foundation and its subsidiaries, answering your well-needed answering questions. And then I've got a couple of meetings in the evening after that, some tree testing, that sort of thing. So let us enjoy our time together while it is here. Nick says, I got a friend into SCP. He's going to write his own. It's going to be some sort of many-eyed creature. Wow, good job infecting your friend with the proper memetic hazard. Well played. On top of which, good luck to them writing their own SCP. It's getting harder and harder the longer the community is around, because the longer something's around, the more complex an entity it becomes. And that includes communities. So I hope they put in the effort to write a darn good SCP. There's a lot of good things you could do with many-eye entities. And so I hope they do something very interesting. Gamer, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being the first donation of today's stream, along as your first donation. And I'd offer to get you some burger and fries, but it seems like you already had some. So on your way past the commissary, just pick up a milkshake to go with that. You told me the other day when I donated to get a burger and fries at the commissary and I was eating one in real life. Are you a psychic? Rumors of my so-called maybe psychic abilities are completely rumors and unfounded and nothing you should be worried about. And don't worry about being watched while you are in process of doing your daily duties here at the Foundation. I'm certainly not watching your every move and judging you and adding it to your disciplinary record. You can trust me on that. Loke, I've been having some ideas, so I decided to write a few SCPs myself. Showed it to a few friends. Oh, wonderful. I love the vibe of everyone trying to write SCPs. The more people practice their writing and improve, the greater stories we will have in the future. So, fantastic shout out to all of you creatives who are getting into it. I'm not saying it's easy. It's pretty hard work to get something on the wiki, but if you succeed, great success. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some dragon fruit on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I am on site in Dungeons & Dragons right now. Oh, wonderful. Glad you made it through your transfer process, and already you've joined one of our on-site D&D campaigns. Great way to unwind after a long day of testing. Zairdrin, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. I'm doing well, and I think everyone else seems to be doing pretty well themselves, thankfully. Wet Aquatic, welcome to the Site 42 staff. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. Foresight, I still don't understand the wiki. I would love for you to ask me questions about the wiki so I can explain it. I would love to help you with that situation. That is the kind of thing we are here in office hours to educate and be educated on. And while I'm waiting for more questions like that, Ivy May, you broke your finger. Oh no. Well, make your way to medical. Make sure to get that taken care of. You don't want to lose any mobility by not getting it healed properly. On top of which, I just have to ask, was this an in the line of duty injury, or was this some sort of staff tomfoolery injury? Desk would know all about that. Was it or was it not the SCP Foundation who made the barrier from Undertale? You mean a magical barrier that keeps all anomalous creatures, i.e. monsters, locked away where they would not be able to bother humanity anymore? We would never have anything to do with that whatsoever. I can't imagine. My foot is bleeding. Yeah, I'm not the only person here with an injury. What are you all doing to yourselves? We are here to secure, contain, and protect. And part of that is securing and containing and protecting yourself and your well-being. Please, do not continue to injure yourselves unnecessarily. I don't understand how to post SCP OCs on the wiki. All right, Foresight, I can answer that question for you, although it's not easy. So the problem is, the SCP Wiki is a creative writing website. It is a story website. You should think of it as a higher level of fanfiction.net or AO3. And I don't mean that our stories are better, because they're all just written by people. The difference between AO3 and fanfiction.net versus the SCP Wiki is simply that not just anybody can write stories and upload them, and not just any story will stay up. If you have an AO3 account, you can write whatever the hell you want on that website. It's under your author page. People can come to see your stories. That's done. You can get up rates and down rates, I think, but they do not affect your ability to stay on the site. The SCP Wiki, every time you write something and you put it on the site, it enters a state of gladiatorial combat. You're in a situation where once you upload your story, everybody who's a member of the SCP Wiki gets an up or down vote. Or you can neutral vote if you want a neutral vote. But that means that, oh my gosh, your article is now under attack by the eyes of the wiki. And once those eyes land and vote, if your article stays in the positive rankings, then you succeed. Even if your article stays in the negatives, between -1 and -9, it can still stay on the wiki, although most people, if they have a negative rating, they just self-delete at that point and they try again. But at -10, you automatically get put into the deletion process, because that is the sort of quality guard for the SCP stories. So anybody can sign up and write. The problem is what you write has to survive the community vote. We just had a situation recently where... Oh, Bob Bibb, I like your question. I'm going to interrupt myself real quick. There are audio versions of stories on the wiki. Now, if you read SCP-3086, which is the one I wrote, it's my first SCP, and it is an anomaly that has to be recorded in audio documents, because if it's written down, the text comes to life. Now, I did something a lot of people don't like, which is that I uploaded the audio as it was supposed to be, but then I made a second. I made the text logs available for people who were like on the train and didn't have headphones. And so by the law of storytelling, I'm breaking the rules of the story by having the text. But for accessibility, I just decided that would be a better thing overall. But yes, radio plays exist on the wiki. You can upload audio files. There's some video files on there rarely. One of the things I would like to do as an SCP YouTube creator eventually is start to make a video SCP document that has like, it has to be captured in video, it can't be captured in text, and there's interviews and there's stuff. It would come out a lot like that SCP thing, SCP-like thing Jacksepticeye did for a while there. I forget what his was called, but it was a series where he was basically in containment. It was very interesting. So, to finish what I was saying about uploading. So yes, if you want to write anything and not have to be accountable for it, AO3 and fanfiction.net are there. But if you want to write on the SCP Wiki, not only do you have to learn how to sign up and successfully apply, which is it's a small barrier of entry, but it's a barrier of entry for people who refuse to read the rules. And so those are the kind of people we don't want them in because they're not going to listen to us anyways. But once you get there, then you get to go through the drafting process, upload your article, and hopefully it survives. Drowsy, I see your thing about donos. I just got off on a long tangent there. I'm going to go back. I've got about 3 donos in the chamber. I saw them. I'm just finishing a rant first. Don't worry. I saw it, and I will go back to it. Okay. So, Foresight, I hope I answered your questions. It is, you got to get through the writing process, and last but not least, you need to, don't just upload an OC to the SCP Wiki. Your SCP article has to have a story, it has to be interesting, it has to make people want to upvote it, and that is how you slide an SCP character you want to be on the wiki under the radar. For instance, the SCP-049 article contains Dr. Theron Sherman. That is not the point of the article, but by side effect of that article being there, it also canonizes Dr. Sherman. In SCP-5542, I threw a secondary reference to Dr. Sherman, but it was just agents talking about Dr. Sherman while doing other things in the field. So that is the situation you want to be in. You don't want to focus it on your thing that becomes way too Mary Sue-ish, and you end up with trouble, and you end up downvoted into oblivion. Okay, you may ask more questions on that as you go, but I'm going to answer my donos right now. Drowsy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary. 2 more hours. Anyway, just dropping in, may pass out. If you're in danger of passing out, find a place to rest, please. And yes, for those who are asking, I saw in the chat, our stream will go until approximately 4 p.m. California time, which is 1 hour and 45 minutes from now. J Pendragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Are there anomalies that are too well known to contain? That is definitely something that does exist. Anomalies that are out there, and we can only hide the fact that they are anomalous, not the fact that they exist. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Desk, do you have any ideas about SCPs that are public figures? SCPs that are public figures. Now, I can tell you that Abraham Lincoln was actually a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a cognitohazard that made people think it was a human being. I don't know how it became president, but it was eventually assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, who was secretly a Stegosaurus. So that was hidden from the history. But that does exist for sure. Let's see what else we've got here. I know that SCP-5004 shows that Donald Trump is not SCP-5004 itself. Donald Trump is an anomaly that contains SCP-5004, Old Gorman. And so that is part of that anomaly that, you know, the general public doesn't know that. Of course, Zerdrin, Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granted peen is one of the anomalies that people don't know about, but it's a public figure. Just an interesting question I have here that I can answer really quickly. Der Kaiser, my favorite SCP that is building related would be, I believe it's SCP-1983. SCP-1983 is a barn that if you go in, there's a spatial anomaly and shadow creatures that rip out people's hearts to make more of them. It is a great, short, little spooky read after dark article, 1983. Great building-related article. Zero Expo. Mariah Carey is an anomaly, but not an SCP to my knowledge. I do not believe we have Mariah Carey in the database. Oh, hell. Maybe I was wrong. SCP-662 is a collection of films, television programs, and animations. Okay, so it's a group of things that includes the album All I Want for Christmas Is You. Interesting. Okay, so there's a whole bunch going on there. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Do all of you need dragon scale armor? Canes, I shed a bit, and I can make armor out of my shedded scales. Well, dragon scale is only useful for certain things. It's very much overly hyped compared to other kinds of anomalous armor. So, I mean, it couldn't hurt, but just like we gotta watch out with 022-J, titanium is not that big a deal. And so people should not get overly hyped about titanium or dragon scales. It's good, but just, it doesn't protect you from everything, guys. Come on. Artemis, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a jelly donut on your way past the commissary. Oh, and I think I forgot J. Pendragon. If you want to grab some tea at the commissary, my bad for forgetting. I'm very frazzled by the opening of today's stream. You've got so many good questions. Artemis Blake. You asked, how do we stop God from giving pizza to 682? Well, which God? I don't see 5320 giving pizza to anyone. Although it does make the internet go faster if you put enough snacks on the microwave. And then, of course, if you're talking about 343, that entity is not known to benefit 682 in any way. They can't see each other. So it can't be that God. Random Fandom, titanium isn't that good. Go read SCP-022-J and educate yourself so you don't fall for that fallacy again. J. Pendragon, thank you for donating again. Trump contains an SCP. That explains so much. Yes, it's very frustrating that we have to leave that ridiculous person in charge of the United States of America, but if we don't contain Old Gorman, it's going to blow up the United States Capitol. The SCP-5004 containment procedures are quite clear. Nicholas Vernon, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Sid, you asked, what is this channel? Welcome to Site42 if this is your first time here. We are an SCP Foundation educational and meme channel. I am here to tell you guys all about the works of the SCP Foundation, the things we contain, and how to best protect yourself from the things that go bump in the night. Also, we get a little silly with it once and again. How would you do an O5 Council voice? I did it like the anonymous voice and censor bleeps. Yeah, Bob. O5 Council voice is very often either the deep, sinister voice, usually modulated. You get your We are the Overseer Council. We are here to X, Y, and Z. You are all going to be redacted for data expunged purposes. And then you modify it with filters down. But also, most of the time, you're simply dealing with ridiculously old people. Because remember, they use the Fountain of Youth to extend their lives, but it doesn't perfectly keep them young. So you get these people who are like 300 years old, and they sound like they're 300 years old. And so when it comes to that, and especially when you need multiple overseers, that's when you add a couple of other flavors to your voice. That way you're dealing with multiple people, and they can have arguments among each other, as they are prone to do, because can you get the overseers to agree to anything? I don't believe it for one moment. Desk hates SCP-5004 because Clef could have been president. No! No, Clef cannot be president. Epic Fire Dragon, thank you for donating again. Well, I'm going to go back to D&D now. Have a good stream. We shall. And you have a good D&D game. May the dice ever be in your favor. Mark Grayson. Hello, Dr. Sherman. We meet again. For the first time, for the last time. If SCP-999 were to interact with SCP-096, quite simply, 096 is way too fast for 999 to catch. Therefore, if 096 goes into a rage state, then it's just going to run out the building. We can't use 999 to calm down 096 because we just can't get the two of them together. On top of which, SCP-999, despite what most people think of when they think of 999, it is just a basically rectangular cube of slime about the size of a table. It's not a small little cute guy, and most importantly, it doesn't have eyes or a mouth. It's just a slime. Therefore, 096 cannot be seen by 999, meaning 096 isn't going to try and end 999. So it's kind of a moot point to put the two in the same room at the end of the day. Snoozy Artist, you hate SCP-173? Well, it is quite frustrating, so I would have to agree with my negative feelings on that anomaly. I also don't want my neck snapped. Ansen and Zerdrin, Clef for president is never going to happen. No matter how many times Desk calls it Clef-Bama 2025. Sorry, Clef-Bama 2028. Can you explain Don Quixote? Not MBS Gaming. To my knowledge, Don Quixote is a non-anomalous piece of famous literature, but there is the SCP Don Quixote article. In SCP-4028, La Historia de Don Quixote de la Mancha. This is an archive version of the article, signed off on by the director of the Pataphysics Department. Remember, Pataphysics is when we are dealing with levels of narrative. So if you write a story, you create a world in a narrative level below ours. Meanwhile, the authors that write our stories are on the narrative level above us. Now, don't have a panic attack now. I know not many people know that we are a fictional construct inside a universe, but just think about it. You've heard of simulation theory before. Are you that shocked to find out it's real? And that there are authors above us? And guess what? There are authors above them. It just keeps going up, 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 and down, down, down. So take a chill pill about it. But the protagonist of Don Quixote in SCP-4028 is anomalous. Just the character in the book is anomalous. In Don Quixote, Alonso Quijano is a Spanish noble, or hidalgo, who goes mad from reading chivalric romances. He proclaims himself a knight-errant and takes the name Don Quixote de la Mancha, recruiting a simple farmer, Sancho Panza, to act as his loyal squire. Don Quixote was published by Cervantes in 2 parts. It is widely considered to be one of the most influential works in Western literature. SCP-4028, the character Alonso Quijano, is sapient and is a sapient metafictional construct capable of inhabiting and altering fictional texts narratively adjacent to the one it occupies. Adjacency is determined via characters or settings shared between text. 4028 alters stories it enters to more closely fit its ideals of knightly conduct. This includes defending those it perceives as helpless, striking down those it perceives as wicked, and extolling the virtues of romantic chivalry. So let's take a look at an example. For instance, a 1956 English edition of the Fellowship of the Ring. Alonso Quijano appears at the Council of Elrond, where he suggests a joust to determine who should carry the ring. After this idea is dismissed by Gandalf, Alonso states that he will, quote, finish this fool errand myself then, end quote. He takes the ring and rides to Mordor, striking down all evildoers he encounters along the way. Once there, he returns the ring to Sauron, as it is your property and therefore yours by right, and challenges him to a duel. Sauron accepts and is immediately struck down. Well, that certainly shortened the story. Oh my, The Lonely Teacup, Dragon Puppet, Kung Fu Panda, Bureau of Paranormal Investigation, I'm a big fan of them, and Jesty. All of you, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, Jesus, and Sans Papyrus, and Ultra Brick, and Spampton 1997 #1 salesman. All of you, thank you for subscribing. When was the last time you've seen SCP-1762 active? Well, back before it was decommissioned, unfortunately. Good night, Alex, if you are signing off. And, Dr. Shermageddon. What is the number of the fungus hive's mind again? That would be SCP-8123. I still remember, thank you very much. After that epic crash out, I suppose I must. Wait, 999 is a normal block of slime? Well, Mr. Brains, first of all, a block of slime that is sentient, or is sentient or sapient? I always mix those two up. Either way, it's alive, so it's definitely not normal. But it is an orange slime rectangle cube thing. It doesn't have a face, it doesn't have eyes. It still has all its anomalous properties, though, so it is still anomalous. It's not normal. The Computer Guy, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, and thank you for being a member. Would the Foundation be able to contain a Viltrumite? Der Kaiser, I believe we would be able to find a way. There would have to be, like you saw in Invincible, which, by the way, let's just say it. What's his face? What's his name? The director guy. No hair. Scar face. He has a name. Cecil. Cecil Stedman would be a high-ranking Foundation agent. The man has moxie and the right plans, so we appreciate him for that sense. And exactly what would happen is what you see in the show. We would have to weaken the Viltrumite somehow, ending with it being contained. And then, just like is probably going to happen in that show, it's going to heal and break out and cause a bunch of problems. There's only so much the Foundation can do. Our resources aren't limitless. Dingleberry, let me out of here. This prison is torture. Foundation, let me out. Too bad. Not getting out. You are contained securely and protectedly. Dr. Bree, Otaku Sad Boy, and Chaos Insurgency. Welcome to Site42 staff. I'm glad to have, especially that last one as a double agent. Welcome. Sentient is able to perceive and feel things, whereas what does sapient do? Define sapient. That way I can make sure to have both in my head for a little while longer. Possessing or expressing great sagacity. I don't believe that possessing wisdom is what we want, or being able to reflect on memories. The accurate definition is sentient, a creature that can meaningfully experience its environment like a dog. Sapient, a creature that is self-aware like a human. Okay, good to know. Sapient equals human-minded, sentient equals thinking-minded. 22 Red 23, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cold one to crack open with the boys on your way past the commissary. How would you label the power from regular show? What? Well, it seems like I have some research to do in the database. What is the power? There's a wizard involved, a hole in the wall, a magical keyboard. Okay, what does the magical keyboard do? Nicknamed the Power. So, a wizard's magical keyboard. Magic powers that make whatever the user says happens. It's named the Power because he claims he always wanted to have a girlfriend with that name. What do you have me researching here? Mordecai and Rigby first used the power on Pops to test out its power. As a result, Pops gave them a butterscotch ripple lollipops for their performance. Seeing that it worked, they used it on Benson, who decided to give them each a $20 raise. Send Skips to the moon by accident. Used the power to transport the golf cart to go to the moon. On the moon, the power's battery died, so Skips had to rip the power cords out of the golf cart to make it work so they could escape the moon quickly. So the monster Rigby sent there wouldn't get them. After getting back from the moon, the power was given to Skips by Benson for all the trouble they had caused, who immediately broke it in half. Okay. So, were the power to exist, it is a safe class anomaly because it is a magic keyboard. It doesn't do anything unless you play with it. Therefore, you could just stick it in a box and it stays put. Therefore, the power is safe class. Good to know. See, sorry, Dan W., you're right. It's neutralized since it's been broken. So since it's broken, it would be either neutralized or decommissioned. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again, your first time today, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some jalapeno poppers on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I have decided to renew my membership after I get back from my small weekend camping trip. Also meaning I won't be active for upcoming streams. Well, congratulations and thank you for continuing your membership, as well as enjoy your small weekend camping trip. We'll see you on the other side of the weekend, because so far, the daily streams have continued. The streak is not broken. Wait, I'm new. I need an explanation of what, Savage Monkey? There's a lot going on. What do you need explained? SCP jailbreak. I will free them. I do not believe you. Dr. Sherman, that is a cool shirt you have there. Well, thank you, Sally. I got this as a present, and I think it is a humorous mashup of pop culture properties. Oh, this music's far too intense for what we're doing right now. I only have O5 council members since I needed an intro for my SCP radio production I am making for college, where they are looking over the incident report in SCP-173. Would they do that, Dr. Sherman? I would honestly suggest you don't need to go as high as an overseer for that, because the overseers, there's only 13 of them, and they vote on all of the Foundation's operations from a high CEO-like level, board of directors level. An incident with SCP-173 is most likely only going to be issued by the head researcher of the SCP-173 project, and maybe it goes up to the site director level. But the overseers aren't going to deal with that unless it causes a very vast disturbance, which, I mean, hopefully it doesn't. Where did that go? Invincible and Limalot. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Lots of new subs today. I agree, Zerdrin. We're finding a new fan base today. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm not going to complain. Kitus Game, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pint of gelato on your way past the commissary. Specifically, let's go with tiramisu flavored gelato. Can I have my 249 privileges back? It was only one time I tried to dispense an ocean of hot butter. Listen, I'm only glad that 294, thank you, get your numbers right, only distributes a cupful of whatever you put it in there. It will not distribute an ocean, thankfully. But your recklessness and blatant disregard for safety protocols means absolutely no. Hello, fellow SCP follow. Joshua, good to see you on staff. Rosie, good to see you again. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot toddy on your way past the commissary. Got told earlier today that I looked like I was going to steal someone's soul. That was interesting. Regardless, hello there. How are you? I only get told I look like I'm going to steal someone's soul after I haven't had my morning coffee due to some kerfuffle in my office. So perhaps you need to get caffeinated so you look less like you are staring anomalous daggers through people. And otherwise, yes, I'm doing fine today. We have some janitorial work being done around the site, so I'm just hiding out in the acoustics lab before later meetings. Wouldn't living Lego minifigs make the best stop-motion videos? Spamton, you've got a point, sort of. The problem is, the difference between stop motion and a film is the process of stopping and going and stopping and going. And the living Legos SCP, well, they do just move. And that means that you're not doing actual stop motion. You're just filming living Legos. And so the process of the filmmaking is just as important as the subject matter. So you're not doing stop motion if the Legos move. You know what I mean? It looks different. It's too smooth because they're actually moving. So SCP-387 is not good for stop motion because they actually just keep moving. Agent Malok, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a flask of whiskey on your way past the commissary. Could you perhaps recommend an SCP for me to read about? I need something to read. Also, this is Kayathuite. I changed my name. Okay, Kayathuite. I will try my best to remember that you are Agent How do you spell that? Mouch? I thought it was Malak, but it's not. It's Mouch. I'll keep an eye out for your second reply here when you spell out how to pronunciate that. But anyways, yeah. I'll just call you whatever your username is. That is what you wish to be called. I will be here for that. Unless it's something that I should not call out due to YouTube being a higher deity than even the SCP Foundation can stop. An SCP for you to read about today. I think I want you to run an investigation into SCP-6195. I want you to investigate SCP-6195 and leave me a report in the comment of today's short. Let me know what you're thinking of it and give me any hypotheses you have for further testing. Wanted Beverage, good to see you in the chat. And thank you for being a member. As a reminder to all staff and personnel, all anomalies are to be considered its regardless of what they actually identify as. You're damn right, Wanted Beverage. Anomalous entities are its, not people. They are objects. They're not people, so they are not he, him, she, her. They are its. That is how we do things at the Foundation, barring some exceptions from time to time. On top of which, what was I going to say? I commend the Superman trailer from yesterday. How's that? I think it looks better, a little darker. What do you guys think? What was I going to say? Yes, the Superman trailer. I love Lex Luthor saying the proper thing. Superman is not a man. He's an it. Lex almost had it right because he said he's an it. And the answer would be it's an it. You gotta use the proper language here. Pronouns are important. It's Mowell. The ch is silent, but however you want to pronounce it is fine. All right, Agent Mowell. I'll try to remember that. Events Roleplay and Me has subscribed to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Thank you for subscribing, as well as you, Mars. I saw you said you subscribed. Welcome. Sorry, Marzua. Rosie, thank you for donating again. How would the Foundation contain the Chaos Gods and the forces of chaos from Warhammer 40k? Also, as an anomaly, I agree, anomalies are its. Giggle. How unusual. People don't often giggle at the Foundation. It's not a very giggle-friendly workplace. And the Chaos Gods are, oh my lord, such a OP giant thing. Chaos Gods. If I remember correctly, what we're dealing with is Cthulhu-like entities with cults. And so we need to, at the point that they exist in the Warhammer universe, they are basically normal in the first place. They're made up of the under-psychic energy of the warp and all that, and they can put their avatars into life, similar to what we believe SCP-682 is in some situations. So, like the Greek gods, we can try to contain them a little bit, but especially when there's so many of them, it becomes a reality restructuring event where we just have to convince everyone that all of these frickin' deities running around is the new normal. $22 Red 23, thank you for donating again. Also, is that a roulette reference in your username? Is that what that is? I mean, 22 and 23 would not both be red. One of them would be black, but, I'm wondering what that username's all about. Anyways, you asked, could a Master Ball contain SCP-682? I mean, it does contain the Pokemon gods. So, honestly, can't see why not? I honestly can't see why not. I think a Master Ball would do the job. Robin St. Pierre, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself an iced coffee on your way past the commissary. Download Bicoline's English version of their homologation documents PDF and tell me what category described you would you use on Bico's battlefields. We're off-site PTO allowed to Foundation staff. Download Bicoline's English version of their homologation documents PDF. What category described you? That's up. Okay, that's gonna take a minute. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. And while that's down, website's loading, Richard the Dark Lord 50,003. Welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your service and your membership. And remember, if you are a member of Site 42 at the Mobile Task Force or Overseer level, then besides what you already get, which is green name so I see you in chat better, access to the Site 42 custom emojis, Mobile Task Force members and overseers also get early access to Site 42 videos here on YouTube. I just uploaded the first episode of my playthrough of the early access of SCP Fragmented Minds to the YouTube channel, open to Tier 2 and Tier 3 members. So if you want to check that out, you can upgrade your membership and make that happen. I hear it's been pretty well received by the one member who checked it out yesterday. Picoline. What was it you were having me download? It was a PDF of homologation. Where do I even find that? There we are. I have no idea what that word even means. Combat activities always involve a degree of risk, even if the weapons are used are dummy weapons developed for this kind of hobby. Very true. You can easily hurt yourself if you're not careful. Josh, just to interrupt this to answer your question, wait, Fragmented Minds is actually coming out? It's been years. It has been years, and I'll tell you what they have so far, gorgeous to look at. Also, there was a Volgan cameo. That was pretty funny. But it's in early access. Only Chapter 1 has been released. But I have the playthrough of that. It is starting tomorrow morning. You'll see it on the Site 42 channel. And I think it'll be about 2 to 4 episodes based on the length. But Synth will keep editing those, and I'll put them out when they arrive. It's up for early access now for the proper members. All right, so what are the categories here? You said category. I mean, I believe you asked me about what weapon I would wield previously, and this seems to be weapons. And my choice would be a fencing saber. That is the sword play that I have been trained in through my stage combat work. So that is my finesse branded category of melee weapon. Am I in that situation? So I hope that answers your question. Holy shit. What in the fuck? Rosie, thank you for becoming a Mobile Task Force member, Captain member. I hope you enjoy that early access. Ten Tails Gaming. You are getting the second iteration of the coveted double spin. Because holy shit, that is a ridiculously generous donation you have given. At this point, usually I just send you to the commissary to get whatever you want. Or I send you to a fancy restaurant somewhere. So listen, instead, I'm going to reveal to you a secret. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to book you travel through the ways. Site 42, in case you all don't know, some background lore. Site 42 is an archive and transfer site. We're based in California, but we are set on a network of ways, capital W ways, that allows us to be a sort of a transfer hub for anomalies that need to be transferred site to site. So a lot of anomalies come in one way and out another, which is why we deal with so many different anomalies. Even if they're not set here, they visit from time to time, and that's how we deal with them all. And so I'm going to set you through the ways, and I'm going to send you to Tampa, Florida, my hometown. And I'm going to send you to Ybor City, the clubbing and historic district. It's funny, there's like one block of Ybor City, Florida, that is Cuban territory legally. And so it's there, you get really good Cuban coffee and Cuban sandwiches there. And in Ybor City, there is a place that I haven't gotten to go back to yet. But back in my day, I've been in California for 10 years now. Back in my day in Tampa, there was a little spot called Mima's Alaskan Tacos. What is an Alaskan taco? I don't know. But Mima's Alaskan Tacos was always open till 3 a.m. So you could go there after clubbing all night, dancing, drinking, and then you go get some Alaskan tacos. And they got them fried. They got the best, they got beef and chicken tacos, but they got fish tacos and the special you're going for. I want you to go get a gator taco. Go get one of their gator tacoritos. This is a specialty. They closed. It was a terrible time in Tampa, Florida's history. And then they've reopened. They reopened. And I have not been back yet, but I will be. And before I do, you will go get one of those tacoritos, a gator tacorito, and you will enjoy it. That is a special recommendation for your enormous generosity. Okay, I've recovered. That was, man, thank you again, Ten Tails. Jeez. Now to actually respond to what you said. Hey, it's me, the dragon. Oh, I know you're the dragon, Ten Tails. You've got 10 tails, obviously. I got a scenario that might have involved an isekai the last time I asked you about it, and it's the characters from Manhwa, called Hero Has Returned. If the SCP Foundation were involved, how would they do differently? I can't wait until the next time when you have an answer. Well, give me a moment. Let me do a little research. Sally, congratulations on upgrading your membership to a Mobile Task Force Captain. I hope you enjoy that Fragmented Minds episode after stream. I promise everyone who donated before 10 Tails, I will get back to your donations. I did not miss them. I just, of course, have to give my appreciation to such generosity out of nowhere. Manhwa Hero Returns. Hero Has Returned Wiki. The Warrior Returns, literally translated as Hero Has Returned, is a webtoon written by Narak and illustrated by Fungeback. It has been serialized as The Warrior Returns in the English edition of Naver Webtoon since September 26, 2021. Okay, so you are asking if the SCP Foundation were involved with a scenario there. And what is the summary here? After saving one world, warrior Minsu Kim returns to Earth only to find that he's lost everything. So he decides to destroy the world he used to call home. In his rampage, he kills teenager Jongsu Park and his family. But instead of dying normally, Jongsu is transported to another world, where he finds that he's now a warrior himself. After killing the Demon King of this alternate world and honing his skills as a warrior, Jongsu returns to Earth, hell-bent on revenge against Minsu. As the two warriors fight with the fate of the country in the balance, who will emerge victorious? 10 Tails. While I am scanning this in my brain for containment protocols, I want you to know that Dr. Alto Clef is assigning you as the Mobile Task Force Commander of the Dragon-based Mobile Task Force Group Kappa 21. So, there you go. So, we have two warriors who have destroyed worlds, are saving one world, returns to Earth and lost everything. So let's go with first Minsu. Minsu is the one who's causing the trouble. Because if Minsu wasn't causing so much trouble, then Jongsu Park would not have to make a big deal. And wouldn't have gotten transported in the first place. But further, I believe then... very Griffin looking as I look at this character, unfortunately. That doesn't bode well for anyone. Alright, so abilities. Personality, history, background, synopsis, abilities, and powers. Let's start here. Strongest warrior of the generation, stemming from a general rule that each warrior is usually slightly stronger than their respective demon lord, with the one he fought being especially powerful. It's a testament to his strength that every timeline where he was part of the Resistance Warriors ended in their victory, no matter how many times Song Jun Lee reset. Oh, timeline resets. Great! So, superhuman physical attributes. And then strength, durability, and stamina, and reflexes. So we've got an able going. During call. As stated by Tiaoman, the dwarf companion of Minsu from the world of sword, the Durin Call was a sword created by the dwarves of their world by melting and merging the swords of the four of the previous sword warriors of the world's past. Tiaoman has stated that Durin Call is a sword that evolves and changes for its user. Minsu and the sword gained a variety of different powers and abilities as he progressed through his journey to defeat the demon lord of the world of swords. This sword is Minsu's main ability as the sword warrior. So, Good. Can summon it by calling out to the during call. By answer my call during call. That's gross. I hate that rhymes like that. You're such a loser. No wonder you had to go end the world because you're a sucker. Cool people don't end the world. You can bet on that. Eclipse mode. Oh, so the Griffin comparison was apt. Thank you. Changes his weapon. The Eclipse mode of during call is larger. Daybreaker mode. Daybreaker mode? Are they going to turn to flesh creatures? What the hell? These these anime children. These anime children. So, a smaller version of the sword, normal black and gold core, creates a swift in a singular horizontal vertical motion of slashes and can be used in a long-range attack. So, the wind scar, essentially. Unknown mode split. The sword has also been shown to be able to split in half. They turn into a sword with one edge, and on the other side is a flat side, allowed with massive round and massive spiky knuckle bows. Blessing of Goddess Seraphine. Minsu summons a goddess that can either give him any buff boost, heal him from certain damage, or protect him from an incoming attack. However, Minsu notes that the goddess blessing is useless against things that are within his body, such as lethal frostbite spreading through his limbs and to his heart caused by Ivan Pushkin, the glacial warrior. Okay, so we have all this stuff going on. Can transform into a demon lord. Further augmented and enhanced. Prosthetic arms. Unnamed observation eyes. View locations from afar. Aura sensing. I mean, we can all sense aura, can't we? We're fine with that. Sword form. Magic. Magical prosthetics. So how was Minsu defeated? Is this show over? Post-Fallen Warrior, history, synopsis, aftermath, old generation. Okay, so, ay caramba. Whew, that is a lot. So it is an immortal warrior, sword, forms, strength, magic, limb regrowth, basically. While I'm debating all of this information in my head, let me scroll down in the chat and see if you guys are saying anything that will help me with this containment. Need some coffee for this one. All right, so this kind of entity, I'm going to assume we would have to go with our, basically, this thing can knock its way out of any cell. Reality anchors are good for certain anomalies, but not all, and especially when there's magic involved like this, it kind of takes us away there. I believe our move is going to have to be the old gaslight girl boss gatekeep. So we need to emotionally stunt this entity into a place of defeat where it cannot find itself out of a paper bag, so to speak. Getting extra credit here from Ten Tails. Thank you, Desk, for bringing this to my attention. It is still going on. It's still an ongoing series, but I can tell you that all Minsus survived nukes that was able to destroy Russia and recently slashed a miniature black hole. But I suggest you look at the Timeline Rest Hero, as you mentioned. At Timeline Rest Hero. Yeah, the only thing we can do with an entity this powerful is re-banish it. The situation here is that we would need to trick this thing into another universe. We'd have to re-isekai it. And then just hope it never gets spit back out. This is one of those end bosses for the Foundation, so to speak. And so my best move would be to somehow use the pataphysics department to push it into a lower narrative layer. That way, it's just a fictional character to us. That way, it can't get to us in the first place. That's my move. Because with all of the ridiculous reality bending here, I would assume that it would get out of it would cut its way through another dimension probably. But if we put it at the lower narrative layer, it would not be able to escape. Okay, so I hope that is a satisfactory answer. At this point, at this level of god tier warrior bullshit, it's not just Abel where we can shoot it down. It's the kind of thing where we've got to pull a Undertale and banish it behind a barrier that it can't get out of. And in this case, I'm calling narrative layers. Shove it into the Minecraft game like we did with that god. What god is stuck in Minecraft? It's SCP-4000 something. SCP-4335 is a greater deity that is trapped in the game Minecraft. That's the kind of thing I am smoking when it comes to this Minsu character. Yeesh. Anime, man. Anime is such bullshit. And Dr. Iratus, I'm so sorry I can't donate. Hey, do not apologize for that. Trust me, not all of us are moneybags. In fact, I am living in California, which has a very high cost of living, and my day job is dance teaching, which is not it's a glamorous job, but it's not a high-paid one. So, don't worry. If you cannot donate, like any D&D party, there's different things you can do to help Site42 out. You can like, share, and subscribe to the streams. If you hit that like button, you are helping more people find us. The more people find us, of that, a percentage of people will want to stay. It helps us grow. That's a great way to do it. Making sure to like and watch through every video we post. That way, not only are you enjoying the content, but you are helping the algorithm spread it to more people. That is how we work our way to the top. It's not just the people who can donate. It's also the people who are in there. The most important thing you can do, actually, is be a part of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed Signal Boosters. That is what happens when I show you guys an SCP film or game project that's coming out, and you guys spread it to the rafters, tell everyone about it. That way, more people find out about it and get that funded, because then we can have bigger and better SCP films and games. My clarion call right now is to get people to support SCP projects, and you can help with that. You don't need to donate to help with that, so don't be sorry. Just do the job you can do now, and maybe later you'll be the kind of person who can level up to a different job. It's all about living like a D&D campaign and doing your best to help any way you can. That's understandable, but I must say the whole reason Kim-Su is a demon king now is because of the Seung-Gun Lee. He can only be killed by a demon king, and it's actually quite sad for many characters. Oh, yeah, definitely. There's always this thing that has to be met, and it doesn't exist, and it's caused by this bad guy, and it's a good guy fallen. It's very tragic. Unfortunately, I don't care if it has a tragic backstory. If it's anomalous, it goes in a box, and we will box it up. In fact, maybe I'll throw it in A Hero is Born. That is a way to toss it into a book, and then I can just let it stay in that book for a while and have a good time playing Hero. All right, so I think I congratulated Rosie and Sally for being promoted to Mobile Task Force Captain members. Enjoy that Fragmented Minds and the rest of the early access as you go. Let me go back to other donations I have missed. I'm back in line. Jeremy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some saltwater taffy on your way past the commissary. Derek, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a craft cream soda on your way past the commissary. Yay! Site42 director. Time for the daily Site42 Fight Club. We don't talk about SCP Fight Club. You can't let them know that. Anyways, the betting is doing a good job at raising budget, so I'm not complaining. Just be on the down low. The overseers will have our heads for this. We got to beef up the Mobile Task Force. SCP-001 when day breaks versus the Scarlet King. Thank you, director. Listen, while that does sound very fun, we would have to destroy the entire world to activate a daybreaks, so I'd rather not. Jeremy, thank you for donating again. I think my hand touching with 049 gave me powers. Or gave you pie-pows. Did it give you pie-pows or did it give you powers? I hope we don't have another anomalous researcher walking around. That would be annoying to have to test, but if it's the case, go to medical and start your exam. Oh, Stacks, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a box of candy cigarettes on your way past the commissary. Ellie's Little Adventures, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of soup on your way past the commissary with some fresh garlic bread as well. Hey Doc, I'm new to the fandom and I love your videos. I have 2 questions. Well, first, thank you very much for your appreciation. We're glad you enjoy the videos. And welcome to the Foundation fam. How do you get hired by the Foundation, and what happens to people who know more human SCPs? For example, Iris. So, question 1, how do you get hired by the Foundation? It's a sort of Men in Black situation. We look for the best of the best of the best, sir. And in that case, we're going to look for you. You're not going to know about us. We'll come to you. With that in mind, it's always paramount. We look for the people who are the top of their field, who are doing interesting, strong work in their field. And so we keep an eye out. Also, there are people who are born into the Foundation. The cadet school is for the children of Foundation staff, because we can't send them to public school, the things they've seen. So we have a cadet academy for dealing with the children of the Foundation. They're automatically inducted in because they're born in it. And what happens to people who knew the more human SCPs? For example, Iris. If we have to remove a human from the population because they're anomalous, we usually go through we amnesticize the people who know them. We have a class of amnestics that can take away specific memories, and so we can erase a person from their memory. It's usually a multiple amnestic and therapeutic thing, but it works pretty well, actually. And then we just have to go into government files and delete their existence, all that kind of records keeping. It's actually quite simple, considering we've gotten pretty good at it. Richard, thank you for donating along with becoming a member today. Much appreciated. Grab yourself some chocolate-covered cherries on your way past the commissary. 22 Red 23, thank you for donating again. There's no laws against the SCP, Dr. Sherman. Well, there's no laws against the SCP Foundation because we're not on the books. So there's no laws about us. And there's also not laws about SCPs in general because we keep them hidden. Therefore, we're not worried about the government interfering with that. Oh, and by the way, chat, I just noticed we are at a 50 minutes until end of stream warning. 50 minutes, 5-0. But not cops and the 5-0 finding out about the SCP because there's no laws against us. Exhausted Snow, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some roasted marshmallows on your way past the commissary. Doc, out of curiosity alone, are there any mobile task forces that partner or cooperate with anomalies? Not because I am an escaped and elusive anomaly or anything, just wondering. Well, of course, you are not an anomaly or anything. You are just a Foundation staff member in our Foundation staff-only chat stream. Obviously, that's the case. But if you're looking for mobile task forces that work with anomalies, you need to look no further than the retired Mobile Task Force Omega-7. They were a task force that enlisted several anomalous humanoids onto their team. And when they were retired, Mobile Task Force Alpha-9, codename Last Hope, ended up being their secondary version. And a sort of more knowledgeable version after the mistakes of the former. Back to chat. Rosie, thank you for another extremely generous donation in this stream. My gosh, guys, very much appreciate the support for Site42. Our coffers are going to be better off after the defection of Dr. Moon Moon than ever at this rate. So, what was I going to say? Oh yes, for your donation, listen. Since the way is already open, why don't you just follow Ten Tails and get those Gator Tacoritos? It's already worth a run. So, if the ways are open, if we went through the effort to open those doors, you just slide right in and enjoy it. And you added, not much compared to Ten Tails, but here's something. Well, my God, nothing is going to be comparable to Ten Tails for a while, I expect. Ten Tails went crazy on our donations today. My word. Anywho, I'm still working on SCP-8803-OC. Gonna release it on Sandbox soon. Also, Doctor, I think I'll need some assistance right now. SCP-8803-OC has been breached by the Chaos Insurgency. So, remember, the Sandbox is the drafting page. It is a place for you to write it. So don't consider it a release on the Sandbox. Consider that your homepage to do your edits and writing, and then share it with people for critique and do your edits after that. You don't need to release it on Sandbox. I do wonder if you've gone through the greenlight process or talked to any other SCP authors to make sure what you've got so far is workable, because you don't want to be in a situation where you wrote a whole bunch only to find out, surprise, it's not going to fly due to concept alone. That happens to a lot of people. I try to dissuade people from acting too rashly to be careful. And SCP-8803 has been breached by the Chaos Insurgency. Well, that's not good, but based on 8803-OC's behavior, I'm sure it's going to be worse for the Chaos Insurgency than it will for the entity itself. Also, just a quick addition, while we're talking about this, remember that making your SCP-OC canon is not necessarily the most important thing on the Earth. It is nice to be canon on the wiki. I say this as someone who is, and is an SCP author, but it's not like that's that important. Back in the SCP TikTok days, which is 2020 to 2023, when I was much more active on TikTok, and TikTok wasn't throttling cosplayers so poorly that all of us kind of left, but there was a burgeoning community of SCP cosplayers making interactive content with each other, many of which weren't canon in any way, but because they were so popular with the fans, it didn't matter if they were canon. So remember, you can just enjoy your OC without having to make it official. That's not some bar that's that important as everyone makes it seem. But I wanna. Rosie, and if you wanna, I wish you the best of luck and do the hard work to make it happen, because honestly, the last thing I'm going to say is it's so difficult, and oftentimes it's not worth the trouble for some people. So do what you got to do. Robin, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, the cord one-handers are very weak at Biko. The metal on Bikoline's battlefield is tower, shield walls, and a lot of pikemen, and I personally go for a polearm. Also, SCP-729- Not only do you mock my weapon of choice, but you sneak that nauseating thing under the hurdle at the end. I'll have you know that it does not matter if one-handers are weaker at Biko. Ugh. Son of a... Disgusting. It doesn't matter if one-handers are weaker at Biko, because I am a bard. And when I walk up to a line of tower shields and I say, "Come out here, ye blaggards. Is your mother's pissed too much in your ears for you to come and face a man with honor?" then my vicious mockery will cause them to one by one leave their defensive posture to fight me in one-on-one combat, which they will lose due to my sick rapier skills. Rapier being the name of a fencing weapon and not anything else. Thank you, don't clip that. Funny person, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a glass of spicy water on your way past the commissary. If you can make your own SCP, what would it be? Well, funny person, I often talk about this at the end of stream, but I've made several SCPs. You should look at the Sherm Site42 author page and SCP author page and Site42 hub, because you can see the SCPs I literally wrote on that page. Peter, hello, I really like your SCP shorts. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Also, that makes me want to get a pair of shorts with the SCP logo on the derriere for SCP shorts. That would be funny, as a joke. Continuing on. The Farthest Cry. Thank you for your very first donation to Site42. Grab yourself some pancakes and syrup on your way past the commissary, and I see that you shared some trees in your post. I am sure that is to mock me for my inability to make SCP-4521 scream, but I will not be upset because we have another test scheduled, and the only way we succeed is by trying again. So it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna scream. It's gonna scream. It'll be great. Sally, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, I find the SCP I was looking for yesterday. It was not one of the 001s, but SCP-000. SCP-000? How can a database entry be blank? That doesn't sound usual. I don't see anything here. The database just gives me an error. Field undefined. Please contact system administrator. Interesting. I'm not sure what you've got going on here. This is like all those people who say there's an SCP-055. They need to go take some Nestix to remember what they're talking about is silly. Derek, thank you for donating again. Have you ever worked with any other SCP content creators? I love yours, but a huge fan of Exploring Series and Volgan. Look at SCP-1936 makes a great God versus God candidate for Us versus Lovers. For Us versus Lovers, got it. So I have worked with a bunch of the SCP community content creators. I think the biggest deal I did is if you look at my SCP with many voices video. No, that's with many voices is 939. Let me go to my channel to confirm this. No, that's not it. Man, YouTube channel search used to search your description, and that used to help me find people who have been in articles. Let's check my playlists and go through the master playlist and scroll for ages. Back in time. Back in time. Okay, that's closer. Back in time. We need to go before the greens. Keep on going back. Keep on going back. There we go. Do. 2864. SCP-2864, called Di Molte Voci, is an SCP reading that I did that featured guest readings from Lord Bung before that whole debacle happened, SCP Illustrated, Haunted Reader, SCP Readings, I forget their current name, formerly Gmodon. I don't know what their new channel name is off the top of my head. Desk, if you could look into that. Agitated Hedgehog was not an SCP creator, but they were a friend in the voice acting community at the time. Dr. Todd King from Foundation After Midnight Radio. Synthetic Alien, our editor, Nature's Temper, was in it.
Russo Jr.
Oh, don't play that. So we had a bunch of people on that. Volgan and I have collaborated in the past. I've never worked with SCP Explained yet. Or, sorry, the Exploring series, I mean. But they're pretty darn good, too. And so, yeah, I worked with a bunch of people. It's just that in the content creation space, it's very hard for anybody to work together because we're all so busy trying to work against ourselves. It's very capitalism coded. Desk, that is not the person I was thinking of. Although they are pretty cool. Shirky! Their name is Shirky now. Shirky is the person who I'm talking about. Cool. They are no longer an SCP tuber, but they're still chill. So, is your monitor above you? Yes, when I'm in the recording booth, I have the microphone at chest level, and therefore my monitor is above me, and that's where I see the recording. And then I have this stand for holding the script. So yes, my monitor is above me when it comes to that. Zero, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of pie on your way past the commissary. Serpent here. I didn't know you gave an anomaly vacations for good behavior. I am enjoying this, though there are bodies in the water. Well, hopefully it's just people swimming and having a good time, which you would be allowed to recognize. It is not unusual for there to be bodies in the water. It's just one lake. That's the problem. Meanwhile, pardon me. Vacations for anomalies is a very, very large benefit. And remember, there is security keeping an eye on you. It's not an opportunity to fee. Cool beans. You look like Light from Death Note live action. I haven't seen the Death Note live action, so I don't know if I look like that Light, but if you're saying so, they must be a pretty handsome guy. 22 Red 23, thank you for donating again. Can you contain Alien X? Alien X, that's Ben 10, isn't it? Yeah. Da-da-da, time travel, dimensional travel, blah, 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 blah. Ooh, it could do almost anything. It can reset the universe. Wahaha. So the key is we would need to employ reality anchors because there's no other way this thing's going to go down. It's an alien, so it's not magic. Meanwhile, ooh, it looks like we would actually have to use thaumaturgy. Cosmic powers do not work well against magic, and a magic spell could cancel his powers. So I'm leaving Alien X to the thaumaturgical department, because that will handle the situation, it seems like. Sober Nostalgic, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Nestix when you pass by the commissary, because it seems like you don't remember why the stream was open. You got to watch out for your allotment of amnestics. If that accidentally gets on you, then you're going to be stuck there dumbfounded for a little bit. It's not great. Exhausted Snow, thank you for donating again. So here's a secondary question. How would one get in touch with the new version of the Mobile Task Force? Totally not asking because it's a fake badge and I'm not fully allowed to be here. Nervous smile. Well, obviously, the Mobile Task Force has their own base at one of our sites. I'm not actually sure what site that Last Hope is based out of, now that I think about it. I have to pull this page up so often. Alpha 9. I don't see information on where they're based in the main hub. So yeah, you would have to get in touch with their site to get in touch with them. That's all. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a plate of ribs on your way past the commissary. Boss, oh, and thank you for being a member as well. Boss, I'm being told I'm being considered for Procedure 110 Montauk, and now everyone's looking at me weird. I can't access those files. What's going on? You do not really want to be considered for Procedure 110 Montauk. This is one of the few moments where I will tell you I want you to misbehave while on shift in clear view of the cameras. If we can get evidence of you being not stellar Foundation loyal member, if we can catch you slacking off, then you will not be put over there, because they need very trustworthy people to man that one. So don't tell anyone I gave you permission to misbehave on a shift, but I would highly suggest that. Aesthetic Zone, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a burger and fries on your way past the commissary. How to survive when day breaks. Live at the North Pole and South Pole, traveling between them twice a year. Listen, I've never been to the North Pole sites, and I've only visited Antarctica once for a site checkup. The situation I have in mind here is it dark enough that it's pitch black that you can't see at all? Because if there's light at the pole at all, that means that the sun is reaching and you will be liquefied. I don't know that that's going to be good enough. AR Cadez and your random Quellagusta Piggy. Soy pendejo la verdad. Okay. Thank you both for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. 051, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go get yourself a chicken tender combo at the commissary and watch the rules, I guess. Desk had to drop the hammer there. I'm not sure what it was. I didn't see it. But be cautious. 0, thank you for donating again. What happens if I were to eat them? Do not eat security staff or civilians. Come on. You earned a vacation. Now don't blow it. Roblox Royale. Hello, I'm new. Well, welcome to the stream. Foundation staff are welcome here. Ah, yes, remember the chat rules. Make sure you look at your the chat rules. Rule number 1 is the big one that Desk always has to hammer down on. Nihal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a nice cream on your way past the commissary. Question, which mobile task force would you like to join as a liaison if given the choice? If I were to join a task force as liaison, I would get in line with Mobile Task Force Kappa 5, codename Haughty Librarians. Because then you're just going to libraries and containing book anomalies. So I'd get to hang out in the libraries all day and not be much in the line of fire. That's the team I would follow along with. Robin St. Pierre, thank you for donating again. Let's make sure that Iris doesn't pull a Saul Sislak. Hey. Also, don't tell the cognitive hazardous Chichilla what his creator did to himself. What its creator did to himself. Remember, the chinchilla is anomalous. It's an it's. Now, the person of interest, that is a he, although not anymore. And yes, we will continue to monitor Iris's mental health to make sure that there's no problem. $22 Red 23, bust down a dance move. Thank you for donating again. And Clef says, floss, do the floss. I guess Clef is very excited about some of that. It's a very tight quarters for flossing, but I very much care about dentistry, so it's fine. It's one of the few dances I can do because you don't have to walk during it and my ankle's still messed up. 0. I have tried one of the bodies. It tastes bitter. Well, thank you for donating again, but you are immediately coming home. Your vacation is over. This is what you get for misbehaving. Someone remind me to floss the next coffee break when I'm on stakeout. Then I can actually stand up and do it properly. Sean, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of cake on your way past the commissary because your birthday was a couple days ago. Happy birthday. Can I get extended to excess to 999? I've been feeling pretty melancholic about getting older. 28 years old. Well, check this out. A, yes, I will approve that break time with 999. Secondarily, let me tell you this as someone who is 38. My 30s were so much better than my 20s. Holy shit. The things I learned in my 20s, and I grew with knowledge and wisdom, my 30s have been way better than my 20s were. So I hope you put in the work to get some things set so that you can enjoy the next decade, because I was not afraid to turn 30, but I did have a hell of a time in my 30s. It gets better. And so keep working your way up. Trust me, most of us end up living nowadays into our 70s and 80s, so we got a lot of time, and we can find fun things to do with it. 22 Red 23, thank you for donating again. I got lost in the back room, send help. Oh, man. I'm sorry, I can't. That's Async's territory. They don't let us in there, man. You're gonna have to go find them and get a hall pass or something. You're gonna have to find someone and tell them to let us in. Site 42 staff, just want you to know we have 25 minutes left on stream today. 25 minutes. Boom. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what's the quickest way to contain an anomaly that is a time hopper? Need some advice for a situation, definitely not for ways to avoid containment. Well, the standard issue for anomalous entities that can time travel is to use a chronolock. You can have them in bracelet form or necklace form, but we can use those to time lock someone so they can't mess with us like that. That would be the easiest method. Sally, Dr. Sherman, if I prove that SCP-000 is real, will I get a promotion? I mean, yeah, I guess, but you're trying to divide by 0, which only the anomalous mathematics department can do. So I'm not having a lot of faith. Silent follower, thank you for donating again. Would have guessed you're 30. You don't look it. Well, I tell you what, it's the eating healthy, it's the exercise, the Foundation Fitness Initiative. if you keep moving, and especially teaching dance, it keeps you moving. And being able to be fit and exercise and eat well, it does slow your aging extensively. I have met people who were because most of what I teach is people in their 50s and up, because that's the people who can afford dance lessons and they have the time to do it. Anyone on the younger end can't really afford things like that these days. But so what I deal with is I have some people who are 80, but they look like they're in their 50s. And it's because they've been active. They've always been moving. Meanwhile, I have people who are in their 50s, but they've worked office jobs their whole lives, and they're decrepit. They have horrible posture. They can barely move. And just your face looks older. Your body looks older. So get active. Go for walks. Get out there and do some things. That is my best advice, because yes, even I have aged like 10 years in the last couple of months, because since I busted my ankle, I haven't been able to get to the gym. Even walking around the gym machine to machine is enough to leave me down for the day. And so, but still, I look a lot younger than I could due to all the time I've spent in the fitness world. So take care of yourself the best you can. That is going to help you out in the long run. 051, thank you for donating again. And since Des didn't manage to get the memo, and don't blame him, the data stream is bugging on my end. Oof, I'm sorry to hear that. And I actually haven't seen you in the chat alongside, because I've been kind of scanning too. So thank you for donating again to get your message across. I'm sorry it didn't work out otherwise. Hi, for my anniversary day, help 0513 want to make this mundane day weird. Also, did you try the IRS on the tree? So, happy anniversary day. Congratulations. 053 wants to make this mundane day weird. Well, that sounds like 0513 is the mysterious one. A lot of people only believe there's 12 overseers. 13 is a wild card. Sometimes it exists and sometimes it doesn't. So, yeah, that's a crazy one. Good luck with that. On top of which, I would try the IRS on the tree, but based on what's going on currently in United States politics, they barely have the personnel to handle what they're dealing with, let alone getting any use out of them for our purposes. So while it's an idea, I don't think it's going to fly in the near future. Sorry, I can't donate. I'm broke. Can I try making the tree scream? Breadlord, you don't have to apologize for not being able to donate. As I said earlier in the stream, just liking, sharing, subscribing, and then definitely helping us signal boost SCP projects from other creators, films and games and stuff like that. That is more than enough to help the Site42 cause, meaning you're a member of Site42 staff as long as you're subscribed. And yes, you can arrange a test to make SCP-4521 scream if you wish. Put yourself on the roster. I'll keep an eye on it. Zero, thank you for donating again. I'll stop eating the bodies in the water if I get some Hawaiian shirts and a Coca-Cola with my name on it and a bag of Sun Chips. Good night. You are in no place to be making demands after what you've done. You're coming back whether you like it or not. You can request those things in the future if you get further good behavior that needs to be rewarded. But it's going to be a while thanks to this whole people-eating thing. Sheesh. Foxpacks & Co., thank you for what I believe is your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a... You know what? Grab yourself a bacon cheeseburger, but the bun is actually a cut-in-half donut that's lightly grilled on the interior cut edges. Oh, the Luther is what that's called, and it's so good. Donut bacon cheeseburger. Hell yeah. Nikki next door. Hi, I'm new to this. Is this a game or is SCP real? Genuine question. I'm happy to help. We at the SCP Wiki community never pretend the Foundation is real. Something back in the day when everyone pretended Slender Man was real, and so some kids bought into it and stabbed their friend because they believed Slender Man was real and wanted them to. Ay, ay, ay. So because of the Slender Man stabbings, now the greater... Definitely the SCP Foundation and also a lot of the creepypasta communities don't pretend to be real. So we are a creative writing community that has spawned a lot of short films and animations and voiceovers and stuff like that. and this is a role-playing, cosplaying, entertainment stream. I stay in character just like if you go to the Ren Fair. If you go to the Ren Fair, the actors are going to stay in character, but if they have to break because there's a emergency, they'll break. You got to do what you got to do. So that's the situation here. Now, regular Sherman will recede, and Dr. Sherman will come back. Oh, oh, drank that too fast. Drink more to mitigate the pain. Hey, Vey, why? No. Come on. I will stop coughing eventually. My eyes are tearing up. No. Oh, I gave myself hiccups. Oh, no. Oh, God. Find your zen. Trigger warning for gargling, because that's how I cure my hiccups. And we're back. Little cough, but the hiccups are gone. Hooray. All right, that was quite a break. Let me get back to answering the chat. Ay caramba. Are you a fan of the Backrooms? Paranoid Virus, I am familiar with the Backrooms. I don't follow the lore very deeply, but I enjoy them as a concept. And I like seeing some go-bys of things, but I wouldn't call myself a fan, if only because I don't look into them that hard. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I'm 21. I walk to and from work, and I've been trying to eat healthy, avoiding fast food best I can. Hey, every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Finding yourself a physical hobby is also really good. Besides my teaching ballroom dancing, I also worked with a theater community that did a lot of stage combat. And so I got to have fun with rolling around and throwing swords around. And that was a fun way to do things. Still coughing. 22 Red 23, thank you for donating again. SCP-173 just wants a hug. I'm going to hug it. Your funeral if you blink. That's all I got to say about that. Not the Mario theme. Hey, sometimes I gargle the Simpsons theme or the Gravity Falls theme. These are all whatever song. For some reason, gargling music makes it work. The Tree, thank you for donating. You're not that tree. Oh, you are that tree. Neither you nor Breadlord will ever make me scream. Who gave SCP-4521 a phone? How is it typing? Amber, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Hope you're having a good day. Can the SCP Foundation handle SCP-2399? Well, I mean, it's in the database, so we must be handling it somehow. Great red spot on Jupiter. Physical containment is currently impossible. We cover it up with a disinformation campaign on satellite image and observatories. So yeah, that's about all we got. Because, it's on Jupiter. There's not much we can do about that. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Be careful. Oh, I really wish I did. Uh, Desk, I'm gonna answer that last one after stream since we're already 13 minutes to the end of stream anyways. We'll talk that out. Foxpax, thank you for donating again. Dr. Sherman, we can't find the souls of the children. Please advise. Well, they were in the animatronics before they got turned into living monster girls. God, I hate that sentence. So I would assume the souls are still in there, right? They are ensouled with the souls of the children, which makes what people want to do with them even more disgusting, if I'm being honest. So, ooh, I hate that I put 2 and 2 together there. Just keep people out of the pizzeria, okay? We do not need to let this happen. The tree, thank you for donating again. I'm a tree. I'm tall enough. I act like a cell tower. Oh, no. No, no. Because we already have cell tower trees. Are you familiar with SCP-3, what is it, 3535 or 3421? It's SCP-3421. 3421 is already anomalous cell phone trees. So, come on. We can't have the non-screaming tree also be a cell phone tree. And in fact, are you actually SCP-3421 pretending to be SCP-4521? Interesting. You're just 3421 taunting me, pretending to be 4521. I've seen through your ruse. You gave yourself away. There's an SCP for everything, damn. You're darn right, Arcades. There is an SCP for everything. We are the Simpsons did it of creative writing websites. Specifically, 3421 is a cell phone tree that talks to people on the phone as their, I believe it's their dead loved ones. 3421 is a species of anomalous organic cellular towers. Towers closely resemble non-anomalous towers camouflaged to resemble trees. Instances integrate with the surrounding infrastructure and operate as cellular towers within local network specifications. The branches of 3421 have photovoltaic properties, which enable it to continue operations during daylight hours in the event that power is disconnected. 3421 produces novel transmissions as well as acting as standard cellular relays. It is unknown whether 3421 instances use these transmissions to communicate or the transmissions are merely a byproduct of the object's primary anomalous effect. Yeah, it calls you as your loved ones and gets you to, It pretends to be your dead loved one and gets you to bury your cell phone in the dirt so it grows into another instance of 3421. That is, messed up. That's messed up. 051, thank you for donating again. So that's where my old phone went. Shit, give it back, tree. Nope, your tree is now a cell phone. Or no, your tree is now, your cell phone is now a cell phone tower tree. God, there's so many words mixed up in my sentence there. Ack. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. All right, boss, I kicked my dirty mop bucket down the fire escape stairs and tracked muddy boot prints across the lobby. Will this get me out of Montauk? Listen, you're almost there. You just need to coax a staff member into slipping in the hallway. Don't throw them down the stairs, that's too much. But you can throw them, you can make them slip in the hallway, they'll be fine. Plus, it'll be really funny to watch on the cameras later. The tree, thank you for donating again. I won't speak without my tree tourney present. I knew it. Site 42 staff alert. We are 10 minutes to the end of stream. 10 minutes to the end of stream. Bro, I always join at the weirdest times, lol. I come here hearing about a phone tree tower. You know, you work with anomalies, you get weird stuff. I, too, did not know that I would be studying cell phone towers camouflaged as trees that are actually alive. That was not on my bingo card, but then it happens. Man, I joined late, lol. Yeah, you did, but don't worry. We are 31 days into our streaming once a day, and the daily streams will continue until something causes the streak to end. And that won't be this week. 051, you're taking Montauk duty, so Dr. Pepper Dragon doesn't have to? Well, that's kind of you. I still want to see that slip and fall, though. That's some banana peel stuff right there. Adamanthia, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of calming jasmine tea on your way past the commissary. Oh boy, I love my new internship as a D class. That just means upward mobility. I'm so excited to donate my first paycheck. They asked for no credentials. What's my actual job? I'm so excited. Well, I am glad you're excited about your new career opportunity as a D class. Trust me, tomorrow you will have your orientation as well as your first assignment, and I'm sure things will go swimmingly. I'm sending them to SCP-1057, the absence of shark. That's why it's a pun. It's very funny. 22 Red 23. Thank you for donating again. We need to stop Meat Canyon. Is Meat Canyon anomalous? I believed it to just be a YouTuber. Warden of the Panopticon. The first month as a D class is a doozy. Well, depending on what site you're at, if you get amnesticized at the end of the month, like some of them do, then it's always your first month. But someone said to me the endless pizza is in there with the monster girls. Dark duality. We make SCP-458, the infinite pizza box, go from site to site for people to have lunch. It's a pizza day special. It is not hidden in an anomalous area that's being contained. You think with your head here. How would the Foundation contain Kirby? Well, Rift Studios, I have an idea for this that not a lot of people believe would work, but I think would work. You see, Kirby is an entity that is endlessly hungry. And so, infinite eatability, that is its whole thing. I know that the infinite cakes self-replicate and do even more if they're eaten by a non-human, but I think that Kirby versus the self-replicating cakes, which would continue to replicate more since they're being eaten by an anomaly, would be enough to infinitely contain each other. That's my thought process. Gabriel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Chicago-style hot dog on your way past the commissary. Howdy, Doc. Squad 715 and Mobile Task Force 13 here again. It's been a week since college got out. I will hopefully share my log on 2613 soon to your inbox. Soon, since finals held me up for making a recorded log. All right, I look forward to your data. It's always good to have more to research. 051, thank you for donating again. If Clef Desk is an anomaly that is a mod here, then where is Clef? Get back to work, Clef. Listen, the desk has a mind of its own. It just does what it do. I can't help that. It's also very helpful, so I'm not going to complain either. Cheese McNugs, I guess this is another stream that I'm ignored. I guess not. Dr. Sherman, do you think 05 will sign off on letting me take 294 to my kid's birthday party? No. Unless you're holding your kid's birthday party in the commissary of the site it's currently located in, then no. Obviously not. Nice shirt and good content? Well, Jack and Sheik, you're both correct. Thank you very much. This is so intense for what we're doing right now. Yippee! Can you kill a gas-based life form? Well, to kill a gas-based life form, you just have to disperse it. The old demon retirement. Disperse its particles across the galaxy so it can't reform. Easy. Of course, we don't destroy anomalies, we contain them. So that just requires a vacuum seal. Arcadez, this is the album Purple Galaxy by Kevin MacLeod, the royalty-free music maestro of YouTube. And yes, Purple Galaxy is his new album. 051, thank you for donating again. Well, Thaumiel Desk is from now onward, and no, the birthday kid. The desk is now Thaumiel. I thought it was Thaumiel. And also, yes, I told, yes, you can have, 294 can be at your party if you have in the commissary, but that's it. Does the SCP Foundation make its own small arms and vehicles, or do they need other companies like Lockheed Martin? Well, Cascade, I am of the belief that it is likely that we do purchase armaments from other sources. Now, for anomalous arms, obviously, we have to manufacture those ourselves. But there's no reason we should be manufacturing general firepower when it's easier and cheaper to just get it, especially the arms industry in America. They're just swimming with guns. You can buy them for nothing. Hey, Dr. Sherman, if you could have any two SCPs as companions, which one would you choose? Companions? So then they'd have to be sapient. They wouldn't just be objects I am wielding. For tonight's answer, I'm going to simply go with my two favorite -J anomalies, Jeff and Spooky-J. Jeff is a hoot to hang out with. Very nice dude, chill. You can always have a good time with Jeff. And Spooky-J is kind of annoying, but I can sit back and watch Spooky annoy fellow researchers all day long. It's pretty funny. And Desk. I will be signing off because I have to get it to a meeting. It is the end of stream, so let me get this last donation up. But before I do, let me tell you that, Desk, do you want to start now or do you want to start in an hour? It's up to you. If you want to start early, you can start early. I can tell them to come back in an hour and see you. While you're typing out your answer to that, I'll answer this last dono. 051, thank you for being the last donation to today's stream. General firearm industry is bought by our front company, Security, Camouflage, and Protection. Obviously, we need a front company to buy the arms. We can't put a receipt in our name. And yes, Desk is going to be streaming over on Twitch at the username TheDeskSCP. So after we do our sign-off here, you can run over to Twitch and continue the SCP Foundation hijinks while I get to today's meetings and tests. So, here at the end of stream, as we always do, I tell you my favorite SCPs. And of course, I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I wrote. That would be cheating. If you want to see the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's SCP author page in Site42 Hub. There you can see the SCPs I have written, as well as contributed to, and there's some support links. If you want to become a Patreon patron, or a YouTube channel member, or do a one-time donation through Ko-Fi, or buy some merch at the various SCP stores that support Site42, please do that. We would appreciate the help. And if you can't afford to donate things, as long as you're watching, liking, and subscribed, you are already helping the Site42 cause, especially if you help us signal boost other SCP creators and projects as best we can, because we do anything we can to support the SCP community and its creators here at Site42. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and with a big content warning, SCP-8980. That one's kind of creepy. It's a tough one, so trigger warning there. One more time through, 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980 with a content warning. This has been Dr. Theron Sherman. I have enjoyed our time in today's office hours, educating you on the SCP Foundation. I hope you've had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you all in the next video. I got myself a notion, and one I know that you'll understand, to set the world in motion by reaching out to each other's hand. Maybe we'll discover what we should have known all along. Yeah, one way or another, together's where we both belong. If we listen to each other's hearts, we'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, seeing it eye to eye.